All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead video. Oh, it's awesome. Walking Dead video. Leading up to the Walking Dead Season 10. And this one was a Q&A, sort of, but we're going to start by giving our thoughts on a recent article about Season 10, focusing, at least to start, on Michonne's legacy. Alright dudes, how's it going? So it's been a little while since we've done a Walking Dead video. Definitely wanted to do one today for you guys, and I got another one in the works, which I'm still working on editing, but it's not quite ready for release yet. So a couple days probably, and I'll have that ready for you guys. And sorry I haven't been making too many Walking Dead videos lately. We had the Avengers premiere, we had Gotham finally ending, we've had Game of Thrones on, we got all kinds of other crazy stuff going on, so Walking Dead videos, still a thing. If I don't make a Walking Dead video after a little while, I start developing a twitch. I got to do it, right? After 10 years, when you do something for 10 years, like every day, you can't easily stop just doing it. It just becomes it comes ingrained, and you feel like there's something wrong if you don't do it. So we got to do one. We'll do a Dead update for today on the recent stuff we've got for The Walking Dead this week. It sounds like they're going to be starting filming pretty soon. They usually start around May-ish type of time. We're almost in May now. April is almost over, so good stuff. We're getting closer, and of course, once they start filming and stuff, we'll get some new details. We'll get to see some pictures and teaser promotions. Then, of course, in July, we'll get the trailer for Season 10. And, of course, Fear returns in June. So we have a little over a month to the return for Fear. So there's Walking Dead stuff coming. And next year, of course, is going to be the biggest Walking Dead year ever in terms of the amount of releases, because there'll be the Rick movie, there'll be the Walking Dead TV series, there'll be Fear. And then there's going to be the third Walking Dead series as well. So they'll pretty much have a new Walking Dead something coming up, every almost every week of the year, or at least the majority of them. So link will be in the description to this one. We'll give our thoughts on this one first, and that is that The Walking Dead Season 10 is going to examine Michonne's legacy with Danai Gurira's exit. So yes, if you guys haven't heard of this one up until now, Danai Gurira is confirmed to be leaving The Walking Dead Season 10. Season 10 will be her final season in The Walking Dead television series, and we are to assume that she likely will probably never return to the TV series. We may see her in the movies, see her reunited with Rick, but at least for now, we're basically saying that, she's leaving, and there's no reason to ever think that she'll ever return after that. Usually, at least with the movies and the other stuff that's going on, as these certain people are leaving, probably not going to see them again, right? So this is pretty much it. So we're going to examine her legacy. So it says here, The Walking Dead will soon lose leading lady Danai Gurira, but Michonne will leave behind a legacy of leadership when Gurira exits in Season 10. So it says, quote, "We love Danai. We're so happy for her and the incredible moment in her life and career that she's having." So right now she's having a great time. Obviously she's in Avengers, and she had a good amount of time, right? If you guys saw recent Endgame, she had a good number of scenes. She had more scenes than some people did. She was a prominent, forefront character, which is really cool with Black Panther and everything. So that's really wicked. So yeah, so they're very happy for her, and we gotta be too, right? I mean, for her to be able to be in Walking Dead and then doing that, and then she's got some other projects too she's doing. Awesome stuff. She deserves all the success that she gets for all her time in The Walking Dead and everything. And she just does a damn good job of playing, strong, badass female lead, right? So it's deserved, right? So that she's having, both in terms of writing and acting. So The Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang told THR, citing Gurira's turns in such blockbuster hits as Black Panther and Avengers Endgame, like I just said, that it says, quote here, "We're hoping to treat fans to a lot of very cool, meaty stories from Michonne. We have seen her character go through an evolution this year. We want to continue having her reflect on the ways to handle leadership in this world. What legacy is she going to leave behind for the other leaders and for her family?" Quote, Michonne started off as such an isolated individual. She's become someone who has had a giant impact on other people in the Walking Dead story. That's a story we're continuing to build as we speak. I'm thrilled we get to continue to work with Danai next year because she's been an amazing part of the show and such a rock for our group. Kang is playing Michonne's exit from the series close to the vest, but she promised Gurira and her katana-wielding warrior mother of two still plays a significant part in Season 10, despite her coming reduced role. Well, her leaving role, right? For example, we probably won't see her in the back half, most likely, because she'll probably be gone by that time. Then it says here, we've kind of known that she would have a reduced role this coming season. We're excited to tell a nice, meaty story with her for Season 10 regardless. I can tell you, Kang previously told Deadline. I'm also so thrilled with all the great attention she's gotten for the work she's done in the show this year. Danai is not only an amazing athlete and warrior on the show, but she's such an incredible dramatic actress too, in my opinion. Also, on the way is another one of these giant Michonne episodes, which I'm really excited about, Kang teased, pointing to the Michonne-led 914 Scars, which explored Michonne and Daryl's, Norman Reedus, joint trauma caused by an encounter with an old friend turned foe. So it sounds like we're going to get another Michonne-focused type of episode like we saw with Scars, which personally, I love the episode. I thought it was a perfect episode. If you guys saw my review, if you remember my review for it, that was right after that episode, Walking Dead was trending, and it's probably the best, I want to say, like a flashback episode, maybe ever. Like usually flashback episodes are like filler and they're just boring and stuff like that. This one was amazing, man. Scars was incredible. Just savage and everything. So I love that one. Like Rick Grimes, star Andrew Lincoln, who was the first star of the television show to depart in favor of a spot in the coming movie side of the franchise, Gurira is expected to transition into the movies. Speculation points to Michonne somehow catching word Rick is alive and not blown to bits. Also has been mostly believed for 6 years, and embarking on a trek to reunite with the father of her children, making the Grimes clan whole again. And I would say the leading theory for that right now is Gabriel tells her that he knows that Anne or Jadis has been delivering people via a helicopter to some elite crazy group that might be experimenting on them or trading resources for people like lambs to, I don't know, like lambs to the slaughter or test subjects to some kind of, I don't know, CIA program or something, deep state program. This is crazy. So if she finds out from Gabriel, if she somehow gets it out of him that he might have some idea of where Rick disappeared to, and he didn't tell her for 7 years, Gabriel's going to get smacked. So I look forward to seeing Danai beating up Seth Gilliam. I look forward to that scene. It's going to be my favorite scene, right? I'll remind you guys of this when it comes time, right? When she just smacks him. You don't even say it, just slaps him. Backhand, right? Backhand. That'll be good. So that's the leading theory right now. We'll see how it goes. You never know, right? It's also just as possible they do a Spotlight episode and she dies somehow too, right? Keep that in mind, right? I know Rick left and he survived, but it's also possible that Michonne could simply be killed off in some way. Even though I think a lot of us want to see her reunited with Rick again, so we would not like that ending, we have to keep in mind, if we saw these last few episodes here, sometimes they do things on purpose to keep it unpredictable. They don't want it to be too predictable, so you never know. But I'm leaning towards Gabriel, her finding out, then having to leave. But there's another question which we discussed a bit too, is what about the kids? What about RJ? What about Judith? It feels like Judith's got to stay in the regular TV series. It just feels like she's needed there. RJ, she can take RJ with her maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she goes off on her own because it's too dangerous. So she trusts them more there than on the road, right? Which makes sense after Terminus and all the other stuff they've seen, that she might trust Aaron or somebody at Alexandria to watch over the kids, and them being more safe than they would even be with her on the road. Speaking of the kids, there was another article for Cailey Fleming, who is playing Judith, and apparently she's getting, I mentioned this recently in a video, she's getting $250,000 to play Judith, right? I think that's per season, right? Yeah. So it says here for The Walking Dead season 10, Cailey Fleming is reportedly going to be earning upwards of $250,000 to continue playing the role of the youthful badass Judith Grimes, so who will potentially soon be the show's last vestige of its former main character Rick Grimes. Earning $250K in a year is no joke for a 12-year-old. I would think so. It's no mystery that Fleming landed one of TV's most plum roles for someone her age. But also we gotta keep in mind here too, with The Walking Dead, you gotta make it while it's going, because you don't know how long you're gonna even survive for, and they could kill you off at any point in time, right? So make it when you can. That's great, and congratulations to her. $250K a year for a 12-year-old is some serious bank. Breaking that pay down a bit, Cailey Fleming is technically earning an average of $16,000 for each episode of the 16 episodes that will make up The Walking Dead Season 10. That may seem like fairly small potatoes in comparison to Norman Reedus, for example, whose contract renewal supposedly set him up to make around $350K per episode. Whatever, they're all making a bunch of money. Who cares? Walking Dead's awesome. I'm happy for, that they're doing their thing. I'm happy for Judith, and very happy that Daryl decided to stay, because he can go to the movies too. You know what I mean? With the amount of exposure he's got already, he could easily go to the movies as well. So we shouldn't be thinking of it that way. We should be more happy that Norman Reedus decided to stay, because his value is really high, guaranteed. Eric Jackson says, I am a diehard zombie apocalypse fan, so I love both The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm happy to report that most people are, now after I did some videos about it. At first I was thinking like, oh man, Fear's dead. Nobody wants to watch Fear, right? But luckily, I heard what you guys had to say, and there's still a good number of people that, do want to watch Fear. It might not be, as many as the original Walking Dead, but it's going to be substantial enough to where it's like, okay, we can discuss it, we can talk about it, and certainly at least do a review for each episode, right? So that's good. Mega Rockstar 48 says, Trev, can you do a video topic that hasn't been mentioned? What has happened to Lucille? Will Negan happen across her again? Or it again, he puts. And will Negan be affected in a dark way if he finds his bat again? So, yeah, man, Negan's got to find Lucille, right? Negan's got to be reunited with Lucille. I think he might be affected psychologically a little bit, but I think he cares for Judith. He cares for the others too, and he's an extrovert, so he's going to want to, be a part of that group. He's going to want to be a part of something. He's been a badass savior leader for years, and he's got that experience. So I think now he probably wants to just, be a member of the group, right? So he may get Lucille back. He may unleash Lucille on some of the Whispers, but, I don't think, what am I going to say? Maybe he should always have a Lucille in some kind in the TV series. Rick always had the Colt. Daryl's always had the crossbow. So maybe Negan always needs to have a Lucille of some kind. But, you never know. We'll see. I don't want to spoil anything. Comics are, there's some stuff in comics for that. Callum F1 says, you should do a prediction recap on previous seasons to see if you were right. Well, I have a pretty good idea of which character I thought was going to die when. And, I'm okay with predictions, about as good as you could probably do. The thing about human beings is we're really bad at predicting stuff, right? And with Walking Dead, you never know what they're going to do, and sometimes they'll kill off a certain character because it's you think they're safe. Like they'll kill off somebody just because you think they're safe. So, a good example of that was like, let's see, Carl for season 8. Like everybody thought there's no way they would ever kill Carl, and then they just did. And it was like, what the hell? Because it's so unpredictable, right? And then Henry. You kill Carl, you replace him with Henry. Okay, it all fits perfectly. And then you kill Henry too. It's like, what? So, my predictions are okay. If you think you can do better, leave them in the comments. Do a video, do a predictions video yourself, and share it with me, and I'll be happy to see it and see how close it is for season 10. So go ahead. I should do my dad's predictions pretty soon for season 10, by the way. Krish Tash says Alpha has a different accent in each episode. Yeah, but it's okay that her accent changed, because as you got to see when she was at the Kingdom, she turned it on and turned it off, right? She turned on a fake accent, and then she went back to how she normally is. Also, the fact that they're traveling, and we find out that the Whisperers are nomadic, so during the wintertime, they go south. They actually walk all the way with their maybe a small herd or something. And as a result, they can travel around. The dead don't bother them because they blend right in. And as a result, they get to avoid the harsh winters. And, well, maybe it's not too harsh where they are geographically, but they get to avoid the wintertime. They get to go on a nice little vacation. And it makes sense that she could have an accent because they're traveling around so much. She might not be from there, right? She may not be from where are they at right now? Virginia? She might not be from there at all, right? So near Washington, D.C., right? They're still in that vicinity, right? Sometimes they film it in Georgia, though, so sometimes it gets confusing. But yeah, that's where they are. So it makes sense that she could have an accent because her group travels around so much that they probably, and my theory is that they just go there. They made that their home because it's where they found the biggest collection of walkers ever. And they call them the Guardians. So they feel protected by this guardian group of walkers. So that's why they go back there. They could go anywhere they want, but they marked off their territory and they set it as there because that's where they have this just colossal amount of zombies that they could just unleash on anyone at any time. So yeah, that would make you feel safe if you've got that many Guardians, right? So that's my theory anyway. I could be wrong. And the last one will be from John Hallcroft, who says, I think it's a new character. After killing off so many, they must introduce new characters now. So for the radio, who I think is Stephanie, which is the character in the Walking Dead comics, African-American female. And, it sounds like it. To me, it doesn't sound like somebody we know. A lot of people thought right away it was Maggie or something like this. No, it sounds like a new character. And in the comics, it was Stephanie. So maybe they'll just do the same thing and have it be Stephanie or some other new character. They might rename her or something. It doesn't really matter. They can choose whatever name they want. But that's what I think it is, and I think it's from the Commonwealth. We'll have to see if it's the same group as Georgie's group. They may, like I've predicted a few times, they may have to separate those up. So you may have one for Georgie, and then a different Commonwealth community of some kind with Stephanie in it, and then Rick has got to be somewhere else too. So, again, we'll get into that soon in the next video that we do for Walking Dead in the next few days here. That'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Predictions for Season 10. Do you think Michonne will be killed off, or do you think she'll go to the movies? And, let me know how you guys are doing. A thumbs up the video below, share favorite, and subscribe to the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.